Hi everyone, so I'm doing a new episode about the differences between having your wedding in the UK and having your wedding overseas. So I'm speaking to you from a very sunny, warm Marbella coast in Spain. Today is the day, a bit later on today, I'll be photographing Natasha and Josh's wedding, which I'm very much looking forward to, very excited about it. And it just struck me that there are quite a few differences, certainly in terms of the photography, but also in terms of how the whole wedding is run and planned, that I thought might be useful just to go through. So essentially, if you're planning to have your wedding, unless there is a real burning desire to have it in the sunshine and to have it overseas and to have all your guests with you, then most people tend to have their wedding in the UK. Certainly in terms of the pros and cons, there are a lot of advantages of having it in the UK if all your guests live there. If you live in London or a major city, then there are plenty of venues which are used to having weddings. It's easier for your guests to get there, easier for parking, and you might find that the logistics of it all can be a little bit easier. In terms of the photography, I've certainly shot at pretty much every hotel in London. So I have to work that much harder to make it really specific and really personal and tailored to you, so that each wedding doesn't look too similar to the next one at the same hotel. And that's fine. That keeps my creativity fresh, and that keeps my creative juices flowing, as it were. So I don't have a problem with that at all. The alternative is to say, well, let's go overseas. Let's go somewhere where we have a connection to, where we absolutely adore. So I've shot weddings in Sri Lanka for a couple who adore going on holiday there. I've shot a wedding in Vietnam because the couple absolutely adored Vietnamese food. I've shot in Marbella a couple of times, and certainly later on today, there's a real connection because Josh's family have an apartment here. This is like a second home for him. So it means a lot to be able to have his wedding here. And obviously from a photography point of view, the sunshine and the beautiful blue sky that you can see behind me, that's absolutely a dream for me. They've also got a gorgeous wedding venue, which has got lots of beautiful spots for lots of interesting, creative, arty shots that we can do later on this evening. So there's lots of pros and cons either way. I mean, obviously your guests are going to have to make arrangements and travel to get out here. And that's what I've done myself. I've been out here now for a couple of days. I've got used to the weather. I've got used to the pace of life here, which is slower than in London, which is lovely. And I've got used to the food. I've also been able to photograph Natasha and Josh a couple of times. So we did an activity for all the boys on Friday afternoon with some dune buggies, which was great fun. Got to know some of the guys there. And then also we had a welcome drinks and dinner party on Friday evening, which was fantastic because then all the guests get to see me, get to know how I shoot, that I'm very relaxed and sort of under the radar, as it were. So that come today, on the wedding day, they know what I look like, they know how I operate, and they're that much more relaxed. That means that I'm going to get much more relaxed photographs, rather than me just turning up on the day and no one knows who I am and I just blast in and snap away. So there are definite advantages for me to be able to be here a couple of days before, and in fact I'm going to stay tomorrow and do a post-wedding shoot with Natasha and Josh in Estepona, which is the nearby town. Very, very pretty little village, and we might even end up going into the sea, which would be great fun because I love a bit of sea photography. So we might do that tomorrow, see how tonight goes. But I just thought it might be helpful for you to understand the differences, certainly from the photography point of view, but also from thinking about the logistics and the planning as to whether or not to have your wedding in the UK or to have it over here, overseas that is. Either way, from my point of view, it doesn't matter a huge amount because it's actually the people that make the party. So whether you're having it in a room above a pub or a beautiful villa in Marbella, the wedding's going to be fantastic if your guests and your family and your friends are up for a great time and want to share your love for each other in a public declaration and then have a cracking party. So relax, enjoy it. It's your wedding, wherever it is. Hope that helps. Cheers.